Welcome back to a brand new video, and here we are having Tour de Murrieta 2-3s stage 1. Alright, so let's take a lap just to familiarize ourselves with the course. It is a L-shaped course with a little bit of bumps in some of the corners, so you kind of have to be careful without slipping out. Right now we're going on to turn 2. It's kind of like a double corner, kind of has like a weird inside line that you can't really take. Turn 3 is a little bit of a bump, but not really, doesn't really offset you very much. Going to another little straight into turn 4. Nothing too special here, pretty wide. And then here's one of the second longest straight, as you can see in the bottom right. And then this one's like pretty interesting because it kind of strings it out for the second main straight, which is the main straight for the finish line. So, and these corners that are coming up are pretty, they almost feel like a 180 because they're so close together and the straight's not very long. So I'm gonna try and just, these first couple laps I try and take it easy, not do too much, but as you can see, going through there, I am like way far back. This is a 77-person field, and it's a big field, and it's a kind of a narrow course where you can't really pass very much through all the corners, but you can pass a lot through the straights. So it's pretty helpful for me to be able to pass when it's coasting and different areas like that. You can kind of go on the outside so that you don't, so you can take a faster line through most of the corners and make up some positions. So that's always good to do. You can see kind of like the group really bunches up, and you can really make up a lot of spots coming into like some of the corners because of the braking. Just everybody breaks into some of the corners, so you just try and make up as many places as you can. I really just try and utilize as little energy as possible throughout the whole course, because you really want to save yourself for the sprint, because it's most likely a sprint. I was also going to try some attacks, but those never happened because there's a few teams that were present throughout, so I never really thought that anything was going to go, so I just kind of kept all my matches for the sprint. I also have one teammate for this race. His name is Pablo, and he does a wonderful job going from, I think it's like 5 laps to go to like 2, or maybe 1 to go. Yeah, he just does a fantastic job keeping me in good position. We actually swap with 1 to go, not intentionally, just because I get into a little bit boxed in, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Here you can see that I'm talking to Pablo to just kind of tell him what we're planning on, and that he's gonna try and like lead me to try and get me into a good position. So this is really what we want to do. Let's just get into that really good position. Preferably on like either the Velosport or the LUX kids, because those guys are gonna have big trains to try and get us to the finish line. So you can see Pablo doing a really good job keeping me in good position and getting me in good position. Yeah, so that's what we were trying to do here.
Keep us here.
You can hear me like talking to him, saying, you know, you're doing a great job. You're keeping us in good position, or, you know,
All right, let's move up.
like move up. And that's exactly what you have to be saying. Like when you're in a lead out, especially with only 2 guys, you have to be talking constantly, making sure that you're on the wheel. Because if you get off the wheel, you have to start screaming that you're not on the, or you have to be like, you have to get back onto the wheel, no matter what. Because he's expecting you to be there, and if you're not there, then that's your problem, not his. here you can see we're getting a little swarmed. It was a pretty quick field, and I think everybody was kind of fresh because it's only 50 minutes and you really couldn't get away, so most people I think just sat in. But so I got swarmed and I had to make a little bit of an effort just trying to get up to a good position, and luckily I had the LUX kid pull out a little bit in front of me so that I can get a little bit of draft. So and this is where Pablo gets onto my wheel, which is fantastic. This is like great for him because he's getting my draft now, and he gets to save a little bit. And I try and get onto the LUX train and just hang on to these guys for the ride. You know, just try and save as much energy as possible. And we kind of start to get swarmed again. And I think this is with 2 laps to go. So we're starting to get swarmed. I decided to hop onto another train's wheel just to try and get into a little bit better position. And fortunately for me, there's other guys that really want to be in good position here because I don't want to be this far back. So going through this corner, I just kind of let the wheel go a little bit and let this guy in front of me. And he looks like a good draft, so I want to stay right there on his wheel. Yeah, and then LUX guys are behind me, but I know that won't be for long because they want to be keeping it strung out. So yeah, just trying to keep a good position through here. And then we jump forward to where the LUX train kind of jumps in front. And I was in the perfect position for a swarm because I was close enough to the front where I can just jump onto the train and be in perfect position once the LUX train really start moving. So I start to go onto this wheel and just try and hold it because they're starting to light it up. 30 miles an hour isn't like the quickest for the last lap, but it's quick enough so that you don't really get too swarmed and nobody really wants to be out in the air too much. So this is pretty good for me, pretty good position going into the last lap. And we'll kind of just talk through this last lap and what happens. So it's kind of getting like really quick. Everybody's getting nervous going through the last second to last time through the start finish. And I lose a wheel on purpose. It's always, you could say it's on purpose, but I saw this LUX guy coming around and thought to myself, well, I kind of want more people in front of me, and it just kind of worked out for me that more people wanted to be in front. So, but I didn't let enough guys go to where I'm in terrible position. I still have enough guys in front to get a good lead out. So there's 3 LUX guys in front of me, and I think that's perfect. And so we're going pretty good through all these corners. Kind of ease up a little bit, and I'm wondering why. And you start to see that the third to last guy in the LUX train starts to go up the road, and I'm like, this is not good, not good, not good. We're letting this guy go up the road. But then these guys start to try and bring him back a little bit and start the lead out of their own. So, and watch this red guy. He does like probably the best sprint of the day. So I get back on LUX. I try and get into better position, trying to get on hit. He kind of takes my wheel that I want, so I have to just launch, but I start to get squeezed, and I have to stop my sprint a little bit, and then launch again to try and get around as many people as I can. And I come around 5th place to get 4th on the day. So pretty interesting result. Pretty interesting sprint, I should say. And I think it was pretty good positioning for me. I just have to make those better decisions. But let's look at it again. So if we go back to when I'm on the LUX guy, I make my way over to the hitman in red, and he looks back and starts to go, and that's when I should have gone to the right. But I also see that this other kid goes to the right, so I should have honestly tried to follow him to the right. But how would I have known, that he would be going faster than the guys to the left? I wouldn't have really known. It was kind of just a split-second decision that I made wrong. So those are kind of like some of the things that you just have to decide in split seconds, and that you don't always get right. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and like and subscribe if you did. See you guys next time. Thanks.